They're coming in hot. Any second. What's the play?
Evacuate the city. Engage all defenses and get this man a shield.
One of the best parts about all the different comic book characters and storylines that we have at our disposal is theorizing among friends and fellow fans who would defeat whom in a fight. It's a discussion as old as time. Come with us to discuss the strongest Marvel characters that Black Adam would defeat if he entered the MCU.
Thanks for the pep talk, Pissant. You trust me?
I'm the strongest Avenger, okay? So this responsibility falls upon me. It's
Norman,
my
you're right.
duty.
Not about that, Norman.
It's
Strength comes in a lot of forms, and sometimes that strength is mental prowess, which is where Loki excels.
Do you have a bit of experience in that arena?
However, if Loki had to go toe-to-toe with Black Adam, it would end as quickly as it began. Black Adam wouldn't need any Infinity Stone to prevent Loki from stabbing him. He could just as easily let the knife land, laugh, and then choke Loki out. Loki could try to outsmart Adam, which would only briefly delay his demise. Once Black Adam had him in his hands, he wouldn't wait to end the fight. Black Adam's next challengers would offer a very brief fight and would probably end faster than it began. The people I am referring to as the humans consist of every ordinary human that has one or less special ability. I'm talking about Daredevil, Hawkeye, Black Widow, etc. While these characters are beloved, have amazing stories, and have made waves within the MCU, there isn't anything extraordinarily special about them when you put them against the likes of Black Adam. Their best chance would be that he takes immense pity on them and shows them mercy, which is incredibly doubtful. The next MCU opponent we would hypothetically throw at Black Adam would be Iron Man. Depending on the amount of preparation that Tony Stark could do before the showdown would definitely influence the length of time it would take for Black Adam to win this contest. Sure, Iron Man can fly, but Black Adam can fly faster. Maybe Stark would develop something that could subdue Black Adam, but odds are he would underestimate just how powerful Black Adam is, and would only buy himself a few extra moments of life. It would have to be a Hulkbuster-like suit times 1,000,000 in order to do any lasting damage. Iron Man's only chance of survival is if something or someone distracted Black Adam and he lived to face him for a second time after he was done doing some major inventing. The King of Wakanda, Black Panther, would be up next against Black Adam. Black Panther is a very quick fighter and has the technology of Wakanda at his disposal, as well as his suit's ability to absorb shock and other types of impact. However, that would only take him so far in his fight against Black Adam. Vibranium is one of the strongest metals in the MCU, but Black Adam is one of the strongest characters in, well, everything. If the fight took place within Wakanda, then maybe Black Panther would have a fighting chance. Home field advantage can be quite the advantage when you're running around and trying to outmaneuver an enemy with incredible speed. However, Adam would be able to take whatever was thrown his way, and maybe even throw it back, if something was quite literally thrown at him. Black Panther might be able to survive for an impressive amount of time, but all good things must end, and in this case, that would unfortunately be Black Panther's life. Dr. Stephen Strange is an interesting fight to think about when it comes to Black Adam. Black Adam has Superman's strength and speed, and also doesn't hold back at all against his opponents. While Doctor Strange is a master of the mystic arts, it does beg the question if that would be enough to defeat Black Adam. Since Strange has never encountered anything or anyone with Adam's strength and speed, he wouldn't have the time to mount a decent defense against him. He might be able to confuse him for a few minutes, and maybe send him to another dimension, which would be his best bet. But Black Adam would overwhelm him before he ever had a chance to cast a spell. The advantage that Black Adam has here is that he simply doesn't waste time getting straight to the point and getting violent. No monologue, no delay, nothing that would give Strange even a second to think of a solution to dealing with him. There are some thoughts that Doctor Strange would think of a spell that would diffuse Black Adam's magic, making him just a normal man. But, again, he wouldn't have enough time to think of anything before Adam broke his hands. Again. Up next, we have the Guardians of the Galaxy. This is an interesting encounter to think about since this would not be a 1v1 fight. The team dynamic changes some thought processes here, but overall the outcome more than likely wouldn't differ. If the Guardians had time to plan, their success would fall on the back of Mantis. Mantis would need to be able to get in close enough to physically touch Black Adam to alter his emotions. And, just like with Thanos in Infinity War, it's possible that his emotions would overwhelm Mantis, since Black Adam has quite the emotional backstory. Drax, Star-Lord, Rocket, Groot, and anyone else that was with them at the time would have to distract Black Adam long enough for Mantis to sneak up, but none of them would be able to handle a blow from Black Adam. Even if they all attacked at once, he would be able to move much faster than they would anticipate, and he would be able to pick them off one by one. On paper, they would have a great plan, but the execution would fall short due to Black Adam's immense strength and abilities. Simultaneously small and large in stature is Ant-Man, and his unique approach to combat would make for an annoying fight for Black Adam. If Ant-Man didn't get a hole blasted through his chest while being as tall as a skyscraper, he would hopefully resort to going ant-size. Pound for pound, Ant-Man can pack a mean punch in his tiny size, and he would potentially be hard to track down. However, like most insects, he would just be a nuisance to Black Adam, like a gnat or fly buzzing around his head. He wouldn't be able to defeat Black Adam, and his best bet would be to escape before being squashed like, well, a bug. The only chance he would have would be by executing the popular internet theory about how Ant-Man was going to defeat Thanos. But I don't think that's an unexplored place that Ant-Man really wants to explore. Speaking of bugs and insects, we have one crawling up the battlefield wall all the way from Queens.
Spider-Man. He has the powers of a spider.
Hence the name.
Gross. Does he look like a spider?
No.
Spider-Man is also stronger than he appears and is very intelligent, both of which would grant him a longer life expectancy in his fight against Black Adam. Spider-Man usually plays a more defensive game against his opponents, and depends on his spidey sense to anticipate incoming attacks. However, that only works because Spider-Man is typically faster than his opponents. When it comes to Black Adam, Parker's spidey sense wouldn't have enough time to register an attack, and he would be hit upside the head before he even felt a tingle. Slinging around wouldn't help much since it takes time to build momentum, and Black Adam can reach his full flying speed at the blink of an eye. There would be no escaping for Spider-Man, since Black Adam's great power comes with great destructive ability. Some of the aforementioned characters weren't necessarily the strongest adversaries in terms of brute strength, but our next superhero packs on the muscle. Captain America would be an honest fight all the way to the end. Never tell Steve Rogers the odds, since it does not matter to him when he's standing up to bullies. If we gave Cap his shield and Mjolnir combo like in Endgame, he might be able to pull off some cool Mortal Kombat level combos against Black Adam. Flashes of lightning and electricity would be abundant. I think that Captain America would earn Black Adam's respect with his tenacity and determination to fight as long as there is still breath in his lungs. However, that wouldn't stop Adam from eliminating Rogers at the first opportunity. The next Avenger that we would throw into this hypothetical arena would be the God of Thunder himself, Thor. While Thor is definitely one of the most powerful characters in the MCU and has a ton of fighting experience, he would not be victorious against Black Adam. This contest would look like a massive 4th of July fireworks show, with so much lightning, thunder, and electricity that the static would stand people's hairs up for miles. The big advantage that Black Adam has over Thor is his ability to fly. I know, Thor can also fly with Mjolnir, but we have only seen Mjolnir shoot Thor in one direction at immense speed.
The ground. It would pull me off the ground up into the air and I would fly.
Thor lacks the maneuverability of Black Adam, who can fly in a more traditional sense. Bobbing and weaving through the sky would enable Black Adam to circle around Thor with ease, dodging his attacks and his attempts to throw hammers and axes at him. It would be an entertaining fight since Thor has a lot of life force inside him and does not bend easily, but Black Adam would eventually come out on top. Enough of the good MCU characters, for now. Let's discuss our first bad guy against Black Adam fight. Ultron was an underutilized villain within the MCU, and it's a shame since he is an ever-evolving thorn in the side of the Avengers. In the comics, his body is made out of adamantium, which makes him extremely durable. Sure, he could take an incredible beating from Black Adam and not have a mark to show for it, but just because your outsides aren't damaged doesn't mean your insides haven't been scrambled. Can AI beings get concussed? We would definitely find out in this fight. However, since we are fighting MCU variants of these characters, we can only go off of what we know from the films, and we know that his body is not made out of adamantium since that does not exist. Yet. No adamantium makes Ultron a much weaker opponent. The only real chance Ultron has would be to overwhelm Black Adam by taking control of a bunch of other beings or AI and having them all show up to the fight. Even still, the scale wouldn't tip much in favor of Ultron. On the list of powerful villains, no one else would make sense to discuss next other than the Mad Titan, Thanos. There's a lot to unpack when it comes to Thanos and his powers, strength, and abilities, but that's only if we include the comic book variation of the character. When it comes to the MCU, Thanos is still a formidable opponent against Black Adam. The floor is way too open for discussion if we include the Infinity Stones in this fight, since possessing all 6 would allow Thanos to just turn Black Adam into dust. Without the stones or gauntlet, Thanos is still powerful, but wouldn't win against Black Adam. Adam's natural abilities, that aren't influenced by any external rocks, would be too much for Thanos to handle. Even if we strip this down to just a physical altercation, Black Adam possesses the power of gods and would eventually wear down the Mad Titan. Thanos has never been hit by anything as strong as Black Adam, and it would catch him so off guard that he would not be able to regain his composure for the rest of the fight. Then, once the Mad Titan was on the ground, defeated, Adam would then take the Infinity Gauntlet for himself, as it was obviously the prize in this gladiator battle. Spider-Man has a vast list of villains that we have seen in the MCU, and given the fact that other versions of Spider-Man entered the MCU in No Way Home, I'm going to include all of the baddies that Tobey and Andrew have squared off against as well. Mysterio might be able to confuse Black Adam for a few, but it wouldn't last too long once Black Adam figured out what was going on, since he is intelligent himself. While the Green Goblin can fly, he can't fly as quickly as Black Adam, and none of his grenades would do any damage. Elektra would cause another fantastic light show, but since Adam also has similar abilities, he wouldn't be able to inflict much damage, if any at all, to him. Doc Ock wouldn't stand a chance once his metal legs were removed, one by one, while Black Adam sings the old children's rhyme, she loves me not, like he's plucking petals off a daisy. Lizard would just be annoying and would be dealt with relatively quickly. Depending on if we got the Sony Venom or the Spider-Man 3 Venom, the outcome would, well, be the exact same. As long as Adam didn't become a host for the symbiote, which would be Venom's only chance of survival, he would be alright. If Black Adam came through a portal in Spider-Man No Way Home, we would have had quite a different ending to all these characters. Let's get back on the superhero train, and up next we will discuss the Hulk. Again, we are strictly talking MCU variants here, and while the Hulk in the Immortal Hulk comic storyline is one of the most powerful Hulks, we haven't seen that level of strength in the MCU. The Incredible Hulk lacks the supernatural elements of his Immortal Hulk variant, and that puts him at a great disadvantage against Black Adam. We know that the Hulk becomes more powerful the angrier he gets, and that is great and all, but the moment Black Adam discovered that for himself, he would go full throttle and stop holding anything back. Black Adam doesn't have any patience when it comes to finishing off his opponents, and this fight would not last long for the Hulk to become mad enough to survive this battle. The next 2 opponents we are going to lump together since they would be dealt with in the same fashion. Let's even pretend they are fighting side by side to defeat Black Adam. She-Hulk and Abomination are both gamma-fueled characters that are incredibly strong and equally as intelligent. Both of them are also pretty in control of their emotions and therefore don't get as angry as quickly, and therefore as strong, as the Hulk. At least that is what we have been shown in She-Hulk. Again, Black Adam's speed just can't be touched by these 2 either. He has an infinite amount of stamina, can take a ton of damage without wavering, and is as strong as Superman with less morality. A couple of lucky punches might land on Black Adam, but they wouldn't be enough to stop him from achieving victory. The next MCU hero would bring us an epic clash in the sky. Captain Marvel has military training and spectacular powers at her disposal, which would make for a pretty awesome clash of titans between her and Black Adam. However, Black Adam simply has more combat experience than Captain Marvel, and also the powers of gods on his side. Like most of the strongest heroes in the MCU, Captain Marvel does not back down from a fight, and wouldn't even flee if the fight wasn't going in her favor. she would be in it until the very end in order to protect others. This fight would be the most climatic and awesome to witness, but all in all, it would end with Black Adam victorious once again. The biggest takeaway in all of these contests is that Black Adam would be unlike anything our favorite MCU heroes and villains have ever seen before. The sheer speed and power of Adam would overwhelm them all, and the fact that he doesn't feel the need to play games and get straight to the point makes him a terrifying opponent. There are definitely comic book characters that aren't in the MCU that could defeat Black Adam. But given our options within the MCU, Black Adam is a powerhouse not to be messed with. Do you agree with our outcomes? Who do you think could defeat Black Adam in the MCU? Let us know in the comments, and thank you for watching.